Reddit is a massive site with communities for almost anything, from the big ones like video games, baking, plants, and television, to smaller ones like uranium glass collectors, tree frog enjoyers, and those interested in alarm clocks. But a truly small and decently weird subreddit is that of r/Dogman. Now if you try and search for Dogman Urban Legend online, because just Dogman is kind of taken, almost every link will be about the Michigan Dogman, also referred to as the Dogman of Northwestern Michigan, in the book Traveling Michigan Sunset Coast by Julie Abrick Royce, published in 2007, where Julie describes the first ever sighting of Dogman as follows. Lumberjacks in Wexford County spotted an animal they believed to be a dog, and for lack of anything better to do, they began chasing it. To escape its pursuers, the tormented animal ran inside a hollow log. One of the lumberjacks grabbed a stick and poked inside the log. The creature let out an unearthly scream, crawled out of the log, and stood upright. There, face to face and eye to eye with the men, stood a creature with a man's body and dog's head. Terrified men broke camp and never returned to the area. From then on, the beast made an appearance about every 10 years. This entry is followed by 4 more supposed sightings, 3 of which have years attached to them, all ending with the number 7, following the 10-year rule. It's a pretty creepy image if you try and imagine it. More than likely unclothed and malnourished man with the head of a dog that doesn't howl, but screams. But back to the subreddit. See, r/Dogman's main purpose, or at least its most entertaining one, is for people to post their own experiences with Dogman. This of course including video and photo evidence. The top all-time post in r/Dogman was only posted 4 months ago, and I'm not joking when I say this genuinely got a jump out of me.
This is the exact spot that I just...
Now, although I can't verify if the context provided in the comments is true or not, as I was unable to find the original video anywhere, Mr. Laxavrak, probably pronouncing that wrong, who besides the Dogman subreddit frequents r/conspiracy, r/Bible, and r/Asmongold, says that the person, who was supposedly livestreaming this, was talking about a previous run-in with the Dogman before this clip was taken. This encounter also happening while they were live, and at the light pole they were zooming into, hence why they were doing that in the first place. Also saying that the chat was freaking out when this happened. But some other commenters are a bit more skeptical, with quite a few people bringing up that this guy supposedly lived next to an emu farm at the time of the stream, and if you look up some videos of emus running, I'd have to say that's a pretty decent match, although it does look a lot taller than an emu, and even passes in front of the light pole without getting any larger. But let's rewind the video really quick. As you can see, whoever this is was smoking when this sighting took place, and if you slow down the Dogman running, it's just smoke crossing in front of their camera. Well, that was almost something, and I did shit myself a little when I first watched it, so I'll give that a 7 out of 10. Funnily enough, one of the next top posts that isn't just a shitty meme is a GIF of a different recording from the same person posted 6 years ago, this one looking even more like a fleshgate than the last, but still only points towards it being smoke. Unlike the last post though, people 6 years ago really hated the "that's just smoke" response. Anyone who says this is smoke and potato camera quality must be watching on a potato device. This was streamed on FB and was zoomed in when it ran by, which made the overall video quality deteriorate. Watching this on my iPhone 11 or 55-inch 2019 Samsung TV, there is no mistaking this for smoke, or an 8-foot-tall person in a bathrobe running by. There's a difference in being carefully skeptical and willingly ignorant. Tips my fedora. It really doesn't look like smoke in any way. It clearly goes behind the light pole, has a consistent shape and predictable movements, and the light itself hits the back of this thing, lighting parts of it up when it enters the light. The last part alone disproves it from being cigarette smoke, as the light was all the way across the yard.
There's no cryptid video on Reddit that won't elicit that tired-ass response. I just scroll by.
We do get a response to these comments by someone who really likes to argue on Reddit, but does explain pretty effectively why this is just smoke. The most damning reasons being that the person was smoking, and that the Dogman gets a lot lighter when it runs in front of the pole. What are you smoking? Reality. If you got anything but name calling and can refute what I presented, then please do so. Go look at the version where someone cropped the video into a full frame of the scene. You'll see clear as day it's just cigarette smoke wafting out the door. Again, the dead giveaway is that you can see additional smoke wisp past the left side of the door jamb, as the rest of the smoke trails off to the right. The highly zoomed in crops give the smoke an unnatural movement that isn't real. When you see it stabilize within the full frame of the scene, it moves just like smoke. You're wrong. I'm a photographer and that's clearly a moving object. Yes, a moving object is smoke, lol. This thread goes on for way longer than it should have, but as you can see, those who believe in Dogman and frequent this subreddit are very outspoken when it comes to their beliefs. So power to them. Next video is a mix-up of things because it's actually a repost from r/crawler sightings. Gem of a subreddit on its own, with the about section reading, True Stories and Sightings of the Pale Thin Cryptid. Crawler is a commonly seen cryptid with pale skin, long limbs, and a tall, thin body. They are generally seen around 8 feet tall as standing. There are stories of this creature all throughout America, and it has even inspired modern culture, modern culture, such as such as Until Dawn's Wendigo, The Rake, and Slender Man.
Holy shit!
This video is about 3.5 minutes too long, because the only thing I and other commenters could see was this weird movement in the tree about 31 seconds in. Which, if I was to guess, probably a raccoon. I don't know. Interesting. I definitely want to see this slowed down and enhanced. You, sir, have balls of steel for going out there for 3.5 minutes to record that. Holy, great video evidence. Def could be a Dogman. It's bigger than a crawler for sure, in my opinion. I don't know if any of these people are real, if I'm being honest. Dead internet theory, I guess. Now, there are a handful of posts that have been marked as hoaxes by the moderation team of the Dogman subreddit. Like this one, for example. Legit clear video? Saw this on TikTok and it looks pretty legit to me. Certainly not a bear, and certainly can't be a human in a suit. Certainly can't be human in a suit. Surprisingly, a lot of the comments actually disagree with the person posting for once. Obviously fake. Not that obvious. How'd they get the eye to shine? You're right. How could they possibly fake something as simple as eye shine? It's obviously not a guy in a suit and must be the real deal. It's unfortunately complete bullshit. It's a suit. Another post is titled Possible Dogman, where, yet again, the only comments are people saying that it's fake. Are you kidding me? 1, those are lights. 2, guys acting stupid. 3, crickets chirping. It goes silent when Dogmen are around. It's so matter of fact about it, dude. It goes silent when Dogmen are around, so it has to be fake. It's pretty funny to me to see the divide between the previous posts without the hoax tag and then the ones with it, especially when stuff like the 3-minute long tree video and smoke is what they're so enamored by on the subreddit. Makes me wonder if they would have believed these videos we just covered if there were no tags at all. Although the Dogman subreddit is again a pretty small community, it's an active one. So I think it'd only be fair, now that we've gone across some of the worst and most humorous posts, to see what the current hype is. And oh my goodness, did I find a gem. Anyone who knows river cane bamboo at mature size like this knows darn well this isn't a regular dog like commenters insist without sufficient evidence. Now, I'm not a tree expert, so if this isn't actually river cane like Hazel Life claims, don't kill me. But it can apparently grow up to 25 feet tall and averages around 14, which would make whatever we see in these photos pretty tall. That is, if we actually got more than just blurry zoomed in shots of whatever this thing is. Even the last and best photo is so low quality that it's basically impossible to tell what part of the tree that this thing is in. It's also important to note that Hazel did not originally post this in r/Dogman, but rather r/StrikeAtPsych, which is a strange place to post something like this, because the community's about section just says it's a safe, inclusive space for people to express themselves and post art. Comments were not having this post though, which led to Hazel reposting this in r/Conspiracy2 with the title, "Strange how when real Dogman photos are released, people are quick to flood comments saying it's a normal dog of no particular breed they can say, downvote it so less people see, and try to ignore it being in the woods without a collar, or owner and standing 8 feet tall, and last photo's red eyes." And people just weren't buying this either. I can't see anything identifiable as an animal in any of these pictures. These are truly the images that have led you to believe in this so-called Dogman entity. You need your eyes examined, or a psychological evaluation, possibly both. I did not say these images made me believe in the Dogman. You said that. If these are the most clear and credible photos, no wonder no one takes the Dogman seriously. This is a post about how when real Dogman photos are posted, someone is using organized social media campaigns to have the public ignore them, dismiss their validity, or hide it from the algorithm. That's definitely not happening. It's just that the evidence is bad. Do you have any examples of real Dogman photos? Or a copy of the photo with red eyes? Or the photo that shows it's 8 feet tall? It's hard to discuss photos if you don't bother to provide them. Although I don't agree with Hazel, the people commenting under this are low-key insufferable, and it's bringing me back to the doggo post from the Stickman video. Hazel has also posted an attempted accurate AI image recreation of their experience, and when I first clicked on this, I genuinely couldn't help but laugh. Not the fact that it's AI that makes me giggle, that actually hurts my soul a little, and an angel dies for every AI image generated, but it's that they really want this to be real, and if this isn't a troll, this is genuinely what they think they saw in the woods. And yeah, that would be terrifying. The post that this image was in was actually a comment that Hazel put under yet another post they made in StrikeAtPsych, titled, "The October 2025, London, Ohio, Dogman Terrifying Encounter." I tried condensing this down a little bit, but there's so much going on in the latter half of the story that I'm just gonna have to read the full thing. I'm sorry. "Goodbye, Canada," I said as the old rusty pickup truck crossed the bridge over the water and approached the city of Detroit, Michigan. My family was leaving our hometown, the Canadian province of Ontario, to meet distant relatives in the USA for the first time and discuss hoodoo and root work traditions. I'd never been to Ohio before. Opened up Google Maps on my phone and looked for local parks to go for a jog. When I got to Colleen Park, I began looping around the limited-sized, but well-maintained and beautiful trail system. Sheriff car immediately pulled up, and a cop came up and told me, "You're not supposed to be in the park after dark. You must leave, or you will be trespassed. The park closes at sunset, ma'am." "Yes, sir," I told the officer. "Not from here. My apologies. I didn't know the rules." He let me off without a written warning or ticket, since I quickly left the dark and empty park. Where am I supposed to hike? I said aloud to myself as I began walking away. Is there nothing to do in this town? The cop surprisingly heard me and said, well, there's Stanley Park, but you being more aware of your community and oral history more than anyone else from the community here should know not to go there at night. Oh, another park, I said. Perfect. Is it open this late? I don't know. I think it's closed, but I don't know when it closes. I left and went straight to Stanley Park after putting the directions in my phone, waiting for the sheriff to leave. And a grassy field by one of the larger and more main roads of the town greeted me. I couldn't see anything to do. A field and a gazebo, that's it. Some building by the parking lot next to the road appeared to be close to the public, a ranger's office or something. I walked away from the road and into the dark and empty grass field to walk around in circles. That's when I saw a big, dark opening in the tree line on the right, a path into the woods. My eyes were adjusted to the dark, I have really good night vision, and my phone was in my pocket, so I walked in. The tree line made those woods seem small, but somehow the trail system split into two paths and kept going and going and going with some branches. I walked for 17 minutes, deeper and deeper towards the back of the wooded area. That's when I saw the yellow eyes reflecting the dim light of the stars and the moon. I thought it might be a deer or something and ignored the eyes and kept walking, thinking about pictures of cats and dogs' eyes reflecting light in a camera flash. They look similar to that. Then I heard a sound I'll never forget, which is burned into my memory and likely will be forever. It sounded like a long and mournful wolf howl had been mixed with shrieking screams and groaning and growling and a loud tornado siren wailing, and then was edited like one of those bass-boosted edited songs on YouTube. It was so loud it made my body vibrate, like I was laying down on the washer at the laundromat back home in Leamington, Ontario. The heck was that, yo? I whispered under my breath. The trees to my left began to crack, snapping like the sound of someone jumping in a pile of dried out twigs, but louder and more violently. It sounded like big trees cracking and falling down in the woods off of the trail nearby. My arms felt tingly. I looked down at my right arms to see goosebumps and my peach fuzzy hair standing up. I didn't complain about not waxing my arms the week prior. I didn't care about that at all. I turned right, away from the large animal barreling towards me, and ran as fast as I could without breaking branches, ducking under and hopping over them, trying not to be too loud crunching leaves. I dove into the only dark green and leafy thing still around that chilly night in October, a vase of a mirror, honeysuckle bush, climbing between three trunks of a shagbark hickory, a red maple, what appeared to be a post oak, unusually far north. Curled up into the fetal position and held my breath and waited while my heart throbbed against my ribcage like it wanted to bust out and run away, leaving me to be trampled by whatever large beast was in those woods. Then I saw it. It's like a wolf. It had those backwards knees on its hind legs like canines do. But it was walking upright like a person, an 8-foot tall, lanky bipedal wolf with grayish black fur, seemingly glowing yellow eyes, long arms that hung nearly to the ground, with claws as thick as pencils, a ripped six-pack, and muscular yet thin and spindly frame, and broad shoulders. It looked shredded, absolutely ripped and made of pure muscle, yet unnervingly tall and thin with long limbs as well. Its head was the size of a backpack with long pointy ears, about half as long as the length of its head, from the back of its head to its snout. I could hear it breathing, panting from charging after me. It looked around, raised its head towards the sky, and began sniffing. The wind was blowing from it towards me, thankfully. It smelled to me like wet dog mixed with damp leaves and pine needles. Dropped to all four limbs, slowly crept from my right towards my left, passing parallel to me. I stayed as still and quiet as possible. Suddenly, a loud screaming noise startled me, and I almost jumped. A deer. It screamed and bolted, white tail bobbing as it bounced away from me and that wolf thing. The beast did a 360 turn. Spinning on its clawed toes like a ballerina about 9 meters away from me, then bent way forwards like it was going to drop on all fours again, but didn't. instead running while leaning impossibly forwards, its legs kicking so hard that it didn't fall on its face because of the speed it propelled itself, instantly already doing about 28 kilometers an hour, rapidly gaining even more and more speed. Its front arms stretch before it like Superman's arms when he flies, with talons at the ready for grabbing. Its tail enabled it to balance and steer, weaving effortlessly through the dense woods, avoiding trunks of massive trees, thicker than telephone poles. But its shoulders crashed through branches, tearing through the lower limbs of trees, setting them flying like deadly projectiles. It suddenly let out an ungodly howl, and the forest fell silent as it got far away from me very quickly. I got up and out of the bushes and ran through the woods in the same direction I originally took of running, finally bursting out of the trees into a field. Ahead was a house. I ran to it. I got closer. No, it was a big church. The empty parking lot greeted me. Nobody was there. I ran across the street, to an apartment complex and through people's yards, when the roads gave me a dead end. I ran through neighborhoods and across a main road, now empty in the late hour. Before I knew it, I was under the massive London water tower. I suddenly stopped to breathe, and that's the last thing I remember. I woke up laying on wet grass, rising sun glaring in my face. Another apartment complex near the water tower. Past it, on the other side from where I was the previous night. Checked my phone in my pocket, which somehow was cracked. 11 missed calls from my mom. I told her I was out late hiking, and got lost and became very tired from running around, and passed out. No way she'd believe me or be very pleased with my werewolf survival story. But I asked my new friend, one of the distant relatives I met in the town, if he could accompany me on a walk to Stanley Park with his legal gun tucked in his waistband. "Why?" he asked. "Have you been there before? Are you scared or something?" "I was there last night," I began to tell him, but he cut me off. "You shouldn't be there at any time that can be described as remotely nighttime. And the fact that you were there last night, only to go back with a gun, tells me you didn't really get lost and pass out last night." He told me about a creek called Deer Creek that allowed something to travel up north, deep into Ohio. He said the dams along it, making Madison Lake and Lake Choctaw, made an area where people live close to the creek. Its wooded corridor to get to Lake Erie from the Hocking Hills without being seen by humans in the wide and vast farmlands. Something is out there that doesn't want to be seen by humans. During the night, it uses wooded areas around London, Ohio, like a trucker's rest stop, to grab some food, relieve itself, and rest before continuing on its way. If it sees you, you are unlikely to survive. He wouldn't tell me what it is, but I already knew. I described it to him. He frowned and shook his head. "It's too late. You've seen the Wiyiwaye," he told me. "You're lucky you live far away, and your family is leaving town before nightfall to go to Columbus. Don't come back around here ever again. Leave Columbus with your family in a week as planned. Don't come south of Lake Erie ever again." Hazel also left a couple comments as a little PS, saying that one of their friends had seen the creature as well, and also used Google Maps to try and remake the trajectory of its course. Truly a crazy story. It's again hard to tell if Hazel is trolling or genuinely believes that the Dogman chased them down. But I think this serves as a good place to end this video. You can probably assume my beliefs about the Dogman, but yeah. I think this is just a very quirky community that really wants this all to be real. And who knows, maybe someone will end up posting something in the near future that just completely alters my worldview. One can only hope, I guess. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have been absolutely crazy with the support recently. Not only did we get to 1K subscribers almost an exact week from me posting about hitting 400, we've already hit 2K and we're nearing 3. I truly appreciate everyone who is taking time out of their days to support me. YouTube has been a dream of mine since I was a kid, posting shitty Minecraft Let's Plays from my Samsung tablet, so to have actually made it and now be in the YouTube partner program, a little humble brag, is really unreal to me. So thank you. I'll also say I've come up with a few video ideas that require me playing some different video games, So I'm teetering on the possibility of making a second channel for gaming content. I know, a bit of a cliche, but I think it'd be fun. They definitely not be one-to-one in tone with the videos on this channel, so if it's not your thing, don't worry. But if I decide to do it, I'll throw the ad on screen and link it at the end of the video. But yeah, thank you all again. I hope your days have been or go great, and don't let the stickman bite.